Hey, how's it going? All right, I wanted to talk about this little clip because, we've been talking about George Zimmerman and apparently people seem to think that because some of us support George Zimmerman, we are racists. But if you support Trayvon Martin, then you're just a good old guy.
In the unresolved problem segment tonight, racism on display. Actor Jamie Foxx wore a Trayvon Martin t-shirt at the Black Entertainment Awards a couple of days ago. Of course, Mr. Fox has no idea what happened on the night Mr. Martin was
No idea
killed
at
in
all.
Florida. Nevertheless, he's extending his support in a very public way. Now, the
Do you think that maybe Mr. Jamie Foxx saw the trial?
key question is this. If a white actor had worn a George Zimmerman t-shirt, would that have been acceptable? Here now, Monica Crowley and Alan Combs. Combs on the spot.
It probably would not have been acceptable, and there probably is a double standard. And there's a double standard, I think, because of disparity in this country between the perception that there's a white power structure, blacks are the minority, and I do believe we view things.
Personally, that's not my opinion. I believe that the real reason there's an issue is because we have this media that controls the thought patterns of Americans. Although, as we can see, this Trayvon Martin case has changed that in a lot of ways. If you go back and listen to all the potential jurors, they the majority of them completely ignore the media. They disagree with the media. They think the media is biased. So, we know that when you turn on the TV, 9/10 of the content is left wing or, you know, supporting things that the majority of Americans don't support. We know that. So, the disparity is actually the other way around.
A little differently based on who really runs things
All
in the
right,
United
so
States.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it's okay for Jamie Foxx. Is it okay, by the way, in your opinion, for Jamie Foxx
I
to
think
wear
it's
that
okay
shirt?
for anybody to wear anything they want to
Okay,
wear.
so it's
to make an
okay for
opinion.
Jamie Foxx to wear a T-shirt,
Yeah.
sending a message that he supports Trayvon Martin. When he does
So he just said that it's okay to wear this shirt, and anyone can wear any shirt. That's what he
doesn't
said.
know what
I
happened.
don't think any of us know exactly
Okay,
what happened
all right.
unless we were there.
So if any
But
of
you
us
have free
don't
speech
know,
rights.
that includes Jamie Foxx.
But you have the free speech right to do whatever you want and take an opinion.
That's not what we're talking about here. So, to you, this is okay. But if a white actor went up with Zimmerman on the T-shirt, that would not be okay for you.
Saying, I think people, and I
No,
would
no,
view it. Yes,
you.
I would view it differently.
You would view
I
it
would view it
differently.
differently.
See, so he just said it's absolutely okay. It's fine for everybody to wear whatever they want. You put any t-shirt you want on there as long as it's not, illegal. But he just got done saying right after that that no, it's not okay for him to have people doing that. You should never do that. Wear a t-shirt supporting George Zimmerman, even though he was the one that was acquitted and the court found that Trayvon was the criminal in the case.
Because of the way, the perception we have in this country, we have a white power structure.
All right,
Whites run
because
everything.
of the white power
We have
structure.
blacks who are still a minority in this country and don't have equal
You
treatment.
do know we have a black president and a black
That
attorney.
doesn't-
no, so calm.
That doesn't mean that we have
it doesn't
equality
mean
in this
anything.
country.
Okay.
And that's why there's a perceptual difference.
Fine. Would you view it differently? Jamie Foxx,
Yeah,
media didn't say a word.
not a peep,
Okay.
right, for Jamie Foxx,
But-
right? But if a white actor went out with a T-shirt, like you said, with Zimmerman's face
Right.
on it, or a quote that says, "I believe George," his or her career would be destroyed. It would be.
And that is why I'm making this video, because this is the problem we have with America today. The people that are in power, when I say in power, I'm not talking about the political power. I'm talking about social power, the people that make you think what you think. And that includes all the people that are in charge of the media, the mainstream media. So when you come home at night, you sit down in front of the TV, you turn on the news, those people, those are the people I'm talking about. And they're controlling us through their political correctness. And all that started in my lifetime because when I was growing up, we didn't have political correctness like this. I mean, we were polite people, naturally polite. But we believe what we believe and we said what we said. We didn't have to dance around. If I wanted to wear a t-shirt that said, I support George Zimmerman, I shouldn't be afraid for my life. But that's why you don't see people walking around with shirts on that say that, because there are dangerous people out there that want to kill us because we have an opinion that they disagree with.
Be destroyed on the spot because they would say that person is a racist. That person is siding
But
with
Jamie
the white
Foxx
Hispanic
is not a
defendant.
racist.
Jamie, that's the perception. I totally agree with you. It's a double.
That's the perception, and it's a double standard. In reality, he is the racist. If he's out there supporting the thug that beat up George just because he's black, that's a problem. That's a real issue for me, you know? And as far as I'm concerned, I'm sorry, Mr. Fox, but I probably will not be watching your stuff anymore just because, this is what I do. When I find certain people that rub me wrong, I stop using them for my entertainment.
Standard. It's unfair and it's grotesque, but that's where we are.
So Combs says the double standard is acceptable to him because of the historical wrongs.
And that's why all this media and all the left wing say that it's okay for Trayvon to call George a creepy ass cracker, and for black people to call each other the N word. And they can say anything, and they can pretty much do anything, and they can beat people up. They can
Put
they get away with it
upon
all.
the African American community by the white power structure. Any validity to that?
It is not right that we have this double standard in this country because by his logic, okay, under the First Amendment, Jamie Foxx
You're referring to Combs, your brother-in-law?
Right? Alan,
I just wanted to know.
Oh, that Combs.
Yes.
That Combs, okay.
By his logic, under the First Amendment, Jamie Foxx can go out, put out whatever message he wants. By that same logic, then, if a white celebrity wanted to back up George Zimmerman and wear the T-shirt, he should have the same right to do it without. Because he's a white liberal. Jamie Foxx gets a pass because he's a black liberal. It should not be this way. Justice is supposed to be blind in America, right? And it is
Well,
not.
is social justice supposed to be blind?
Social justice is never blind, and that's part of the problem.
But should it
isn't
be blind?
Of course it should be
So you're
blind.
rejecting Combs' contention that social injustice in the past justifies what Mr. Fox
I
did.
totally reject it.
I would like to reject the
totally
notion
reject
that
it.
somehow Mel Gibson's career is over. And by the way, it's a shame what's happening to Paula Deen. I think she is unfairly being treated.
Do you really?
Yes, I actually
So
do.
would you defend a white celebrity if they wore a George Zimmerman T-shirt?
I would defend anybody, yes. If that's their point of view, they should have
So
the right
Combs,
to do it
you
exactly.
think Dean's getting a bad deal?
I think Dean's getting a horrible rap here.
No, it's a she. Dean.
Dean is getting a horrible rap here, I say.
So, my main point in all this, and this is what I've been saying from the very beginning of my videos, is that we have this really bad double standard in our country right now. Apparently, people believe that because of what happened to your great, 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 great granddaddy, you have some claim to things today. And a lot of people say, well, that's not it, poker face. You got to remember, these people are suffering today. I mean, Joe down the street went down for a job, couldn't get it because he was black. The white guy walked in behind him, less qualified, and got the job. That's fine. There are laws to protect us from that. That's what we do. We set up laws and we say that's unacceptable. And when we catch somebody doing it, we hold them responsible. That's what we do. That's the correct way. But it's not the correct way to stab somebody in the eyeball because they happen to have a certain color skin. You're blaming me and my family for what happened in the past as if we had something to do with it. Or you're blaming us for the fact that other people have done you wrong in the past or even today. You can't blame me. Look, if I did something wrong, arrest me. If you think I did something wrong, come tell me. But you're holding me and my family responsible for the actions of others. And that is fundamentally wrong. And that's why I made this video today. Good talking to you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.